Now are we coming through? Okay, we are live. We've been dealing with audio problems. I'm trying to make sure it goes through. So, I'm sorry for the delay. Oh my god. But once that's up and tested, we will get on with the show. Let's see. Yes, we're going through. Alright, I had to check that. And now we're going. Okay. So, it's been over a year. So, my own stream came on. So, we are back. We are doing our Dining and Doodles, which is something we've been doing for the last year and a half. Well, not the last year, but the year before and a half. We do Dining and Doodles, where we take requests each and every Saturday for the viewers of the stream, and we do art streams. Now we have our schedule set up here this week, and since we had audio issues last week, we had to delay everything. So now I'm going to go through the schedule first. Sunday we are doing our Let's Play from 7 to 10. And we're going to be doing Friend Bo this Sunday. We have off on Monday. Then we come and do our new show. Not Dining and Doodles. Dribble Draw. Where we're going to be doing our comics live. Be drawing them out. If you don't know, we do comics. We do a comic called Demon Blade. We've been doing for several years. Available through Amazon, both on digitally and through paperback. And you can also check out our new series. And I'm going to go ahead and put that up here if I can. Let's see here. No, that's not it. No, that's not it either. Oh, it's going to be on this. Okay, we'll introduce it. Let's go to the screen. All right, so this is going to be our drawing later. But, let's see, we're going to apply transform because I'm just trying to do that. All right, so this is going to be Fan Bro, as I said, tomorrow. Excuse me, not next week, but tomorrow we're going to be doing Fan Bro. It's voted on a horror game. And I've never played it. I'm going into it blind. We'll see. But this is our new comic series. Witchin', it's a sort of a comedy slice of life. Hold on a second, let me fix something here. Property. Alright, I'll turn the monitor off. That way I'm not throwing myself off on my own talking and chatting. But here. There we go. So we have this comic called Witchin'. It is a slice of life comedy about basically a witch that is the first to go to school in a human world. And, well, it's an interesting series. And it's a monthly series that we're putting together. It's a heck of a draw. It's putting myself out and ragged. I haven't even finished issue 3 before it comes out in about a week from today. But we will be up and running with it nonetheless. So, I hope you all get to enjoy it, but we're going to be doing some more streams. I'm going to go back to the base here. Let's go. And we are going to go over sort of the rest of the week. We are going to be doing Anime Anti-Climax. It's not on this stream. It's on Septum Sim versus the World, where we do a podcast regularly. We're planning for Anime Anti-Climax this week, where we're going to be doing the anime Shinesman. If you've not seen Shinesman, you can catch it out on YouTube. It's one of those few anime that have been put back on YouTube because it's dumb, it's stupid, and I'm going to have some things to say, including about how I was introduced to it, so how I was able to push it to the others. On Thursday, we're going to do Lesser Look, and we are going to be hitting on the Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today. As an anime series, we're going to be hitting on that. That is where we do reviews of the series that are out this season that people aren't really talking about. The smaller series, the lesser series that people look into, and we'll also do reflective series on classics. We're going to also talk about Code Geass in about a few weeks. I haven't finished it. I'm still watching it. This is my first time watching Code Geass, believe it or not. And I have some strong opinions on that series. And then Friday we'll be back with some more Let's Play. We'll see about Frambo or if we're going to do some Danganronpa. I haven't fully decided yet on which of those. Danganronpa, I was kind of bored even though we had technical issues. You can still watch us play through it. But it was not a very good stream, not a very good game in my opinion. Better anime than it is a game. And then we have our Dining and Doodles, which will be next week again. So each and every week we do Dining and Doodles at 8 p.m. and we run to 11. That is a change from our last time. We do the stream at 11 or go till 11 basically to cover everything that we are drawing and maybe do something new and unique in the art. But basically, if you want to chat, you can join in chat on either Twitch or YouTube. It should be posting up on us anytime. Let's see here. Let me hide the little image here. And we should see our chat. Let's see. There we go. So chat should arrive in through the machine. I don't know if it's working or not. This is a new setup. We had upgraded a lot of things. And we are still upgrading things, but we are currently downgraded a few things as well, unfortunately. But we are doing the voice regularly. We have a more reliable voice system. We have a more reliable streaming setup. And we have a more reliable connection. We're still trying to get some graphics updates and a few other things, which is why you're seeing the mouth out of sync. But we will hopefully be doing things back on running regularly 5 days a week, if not 6, like this upcoming week. But hey, we'll also. So we're going to be getting on to the art of the day. Let's go to the screen. So, as I said in the setup, this was a request put on through our DeviantArt page, which you people can do. Put in a request for art to do, and we're going to be doing just that. We're going to be drawing today, and when I said downgrade, I meant downgrade to the art because while we were gone, we switched to doing art through an iPad, and right now I'm back to doing art on the tablet for this stream. We are going to be working on trying to update that, so we're not going to be doing that in the future, but right now we're having to do it through the tablet. But you can watch me do it live, and I do not like how this pin tip is going. You can also see how I have degraded over the year. Health-wise. If you've not been following, we were homeless. That's the reason why we were gone for a year. We worked our way out of homelessness, and we have worked our way back into a better situation. But unfortunately, our health is also an issue. And it was an issue before. We may have delays on streams because of my health. But we will do what we can. And we're going to just keep doing things. I kind of wanted to do, when they said just go with whatever, when I decided to do this piece for them, I kind of wanted to do just two friends hanging out, laughing, and we might, at the end of the day, if we got time for it, we'll do a drawing in their style, which is their little chibi style. We'll try to mimic their style tonight and do that. The difference between Dribble Draw and Dining and Doodles is literally going to be what we chat. We're going to have set chats, topics. Dining and Doodles, it's more fans. And you, the viewers, if you leave a message, I'll try and respond to it. But as we go through the stream, it's all live, raw. Nothing really is done polished. The stream on Tuesday, Dribble Draw, we'll be drawing either Witchin' or Demon Blade live. We might do both. But we'll be drawing them live, and I'm already not happy with how that chin is. But we're gonna, because it's sharp, I need to kind of make it a sharp chin, so we're gonna go back and do it. But I will keep my eyes on any chat as we go. But we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that got us here. Yes, we had ended the stream almost a full year ago. To the day. We had to leave because we were going homeless. I wanted to try and do some live streams on the road, but the internet connection really sucked for us to be able to do that. So we ended up not doing live streams on the road. I was hoping to do so. There's so many anime I'm going to go back and review in time that were of the season for Dining and Doodles. A couple of them got re-aired, or not re-aired, but delayed anyway, that I wanted to talk about. And some were a disappointment. Some were impressive. This season, there were some good ones. There's still a few episodes on a few shows that I'm watching that are not the regular staple ones that everyone else is watching, like Jujutsu Kaisen. I am watching that as it airs. I have been reading the manga, but I've not gotten this far in the manga. It's a bit of delayed on where I've gotten in the manga because I just don't have the time. Even when I was homeless, I had a little more time to read when I was homeless, but now it's not really the case. We're not really getting to be, I don't know, does he have this sort of priest collar-esque uniform? No, he doesn't. Okay, all right. Let's fix that. He doesn't have the priest collar. He has more of a collared shirt. Okay. So let's do that. I wanted to give each of these characters a little bit of a sort of nice looking guy look. From what I was reading, because it's kind of hard, it's a little erratic, that their artwork is, there's no real conception that I could see that was a comic for this request. So I couldn't really tell what their project was art-wise, other than just a few clips here and there or a nice little comic. And that's by no means saying their artwork's bad. I mean, everybody's artwork is unique. Everybody's artwork is special, and you should check it out. I mean, you never know what you might learn from somebody who is more amateur than you or more professional. So, I mean, it's always good to check it out, watch it, or read what somebody's doing and see what they've got going. Who knows? They might impress you. But we are doing things a little bit live here. I'm going to be doing, let's talk about my health, I guess. We know things are a bit better than we did about a year ago. One, we know what my stomach issue is, that has made me pretty much crippled. And we kind of know what my nerve damage is. And that, unfortunately, both of them are lifetime issues. They're not going to be something I can get cured from. I have to basically live with these issues, and they're incredibly painful. The nerve issue is a little less painful at times, but it can be more painful. I haven't really experienced the greater amount of pain from it so much as I have with the stomach issue. The stomach issue is mind-numbingly painful. In fact, this year it's gotten to its probably worst shape, to where it was crippling me in front of my new work, my new job during the day, where I couldn't really see people, people could see me just in horrific pain for days on end. And that's what really sucks about it. What I have is called gastroparesis, and I have neuropathy. And neuropathy affects my left side, my limbs, making me unable to. It caused me to lose my last job because of I basically was working a very physical, very demanding job, and because of that, because of the neuropathy, I couldn't lift with my left side. I can't trust myself to walk at times. It's good. They're good and bad days. Yesterday was a very bad day for me with the neuropathy because I was falling all over myself when I woke up, and my hand would not close, which is there's no more frustration in the world than looking at yourself and trying to be able to move part of you and just not being able to do it. And that really, really sucks. And it's probably been the more demeaning part of me over the last year. The part that's made me a little more down and depressed over the past year has been not being able to trust my own limbs. And given my right side is my dominant side, that's why I can still draw. But it does make things harder. I cannot form a proper fist with my left hand. I cannot hold things more than 10 pounds with my left hand. It just sucks. And then you add into the fact that it may have caused the gastroparesis, which has been affecting me over the years, which is mind-numbingly pain. My stomach basically does not empty food. So I've had to go mostly to a liquid diet these days. And it's just frustrating because someone like me, I named this stream Dining and Doodles because I love to cook. And now I lose that ability to cook. I lose that fun part of me that I enjoyed. And I can still cook, but I've got to mainly fix soups and purees and smoothies, milkshakes, and there's certain foods I can't even eat, even still, because they're too fibrous. They won't digest in my system, and it becomes so painful to eat at times. So yeah, it's ridiculous, but that's my life these days. That is the pain I've gone through, the homelessness I went through, which was not easy. There were 2 incidents that occurred. We are going to talk about the first incident. Well, not the first incident, on a later date, where I became a victim of an actual crime. We will discuss that crime. At this time, I cannot talk about it because it is a court case, and we are waiting for the court case. I don't know if the second incident is a court case because I've not been informed by anybody whether or not it's a court case. But it'll be the subject of Tuesday's stream, which is I witnessed a murder. Yes, I witnessed a murder. Now, I will spoil it a little bit. It was vehicular homicide, and the person lived, so it was attempted, not actually caused. They did not die, but it was still attempted murder. And we will be talking about that on the stream for Tuesday. But now that I'm back, I'm doing artwork again. Once I got the iPad set up and going, we were able to do some artwork. We were able to get comics started with Witchin' and also work a bit into Demon Blade, but I'm still behind on both. It's just a matter of life gets in the way. Even with my health being bad, I still have to work 9 to 5, day to day. I work a 40-hour week job. I come here and I do all this. So, on top of the comics, we do the streams, we're doing all of this, and we still live a normal life. Because we can't let life get us down. And that's one of the key things that I definitely want to, push a bit more over these next few streams. You can't let life get you down. While my life has been struggling, and I've had some pretty nasty weeks to months, we are back in the seat. We are back to doing what we love. And I hope you all get to enjoy what we do for these streams. I'm trying to make these fingers as best I can from looking at it, but it's a little complicated. We're seeing what we can do. I will be switching to the iPad eventually. I do have or another form of tablet that I can actually look and see what I'm doing from my hand instead of using the monitoring system or the chat. Not chat. The monitoring system on the computer in the stream to see what I'm doing as I'm drawing it. A little more severe, a little more difficult, but enjoyable nonetheless. Let's see our friend here. Let's see what we need. So they're both sort of wearing lab coats. From what they designed, it looks like. I don't know why the leg kind of comes through here. It's a bit strange that we do that. But yeah. We're going to try and make these streams a bit about enjoying life. Because we need it. The world needs it. We don't need a lot of, negativity, dark things. And we'll save that for our games. Or our lesser look when we do our reviews. Whether or not we're going to have something a little too dark or severe. Definitely want to do something with this chin. This chin is a little too severe, curve, concave. So we need to do a little bit better with that curve. Not that, jeez. Come on, undo. There we go. And I'm doing it again. See, this is me trying to adjust to the new setup here. And it's not working. Why is it not working? Jesus Christ. There we go. Let's see. No, there. Why, if I'm going down, you're going sideways? Come on. Stop going sideways. Jeez. I'm going down with my brush, but it's apparently reading sideways. I don't know why. Well, there is a way to deal with this. As people can see, basically the way we draw is a little bit different than most people. A lot of people, they will use, we use Clip Paint Studio. A lot of people also use Clip Paint Studio. It's far better, in my opinion, to Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator or any of the Adobe line, because Adobe, you charge way too damn much a month. I get Clip Paint Studio. I pay their monthly fee. It's $14 for the what do they call it? The Pro version, and that's far more reasonable than what is it, $100 a month for one program of Adobe. Seriously, Adobe, you're wondering why you're losing money? You charge too damn much. You got too greedy, and we explained this to you years ago, and now you're kind of hurting, which I'm glad. I hate to say, but Adobe used to be one of the best programs out there. It was the be-all, end-all, and then they got greedy, and that's when they got screwed. And Microsoft, you're kind of getting that same way with your Word. I mean, honestly, people need a Word program. If you're buying a Windows computer, you don't want just solitaire and internet. You want to be able to do things. All right, let's see. Me trying to loosen up a little bit here. We're only 30 minutes into our stream, and most of that was the start of this. So let's see here. I do see we've had a few people come in, we've had a few go. Keeping an eye on you all from the stream just as we go. If you want to drop a line, just say hi, you can. If you have a request that you want drawn on this Saturday's programs of Dining and Doodles, by all means, mention it in the chat or mention it in the comments below if you're watching this video afterwards. I know we get a lot of viewers after the fact. People don't really come in usually when we view the stream live, but hey, I mean, we're going to try and do better with our streaming, try and do a little bit more fun things, a little more videos here and there. If, and this is a huge if, anime companies will let us, we will go back to lesser look on video. But because we were having issue back in the day, we went live stream, and we only did one live stream, unfortunately, of lesser look, which was the Golden Kamuy. But we will be back with a couple of new COs from a few remainder from the summer lineup of anime, and a few, like I said, classic series. If you got a classic series you want us to look at, don't mention One Piece. Honestly, you don't have to mention One Piece. I could pretty much recite One Piece. So we might discuss One Piece at one point, but I know One Piece by heart. All right, so we don't need to do that, but we do have, oh crap, I'm gonna redo that entire hand because I didn't realize it was like there. Okay. I forgot whose hand it was. There. All right. Let's see, we're gonna go with pen tool here. And immediately flip. This is one of the things I'd love to get a new tablet for. And if a tablet company is watching these streams, yeah, let us know. Let us see what your tablets can do. We've been using a Wacom Bamboo. Yes, I'm using the phrase Wacom Bamboo and not a Intuos because it was Bamboo beforehand, and this is a Bamboo. It's that old. It desperately needs to get replaced. We're going to replace it no matter what. It's just which brand, I don't know yet. Wacom's kind of been getting a little too pricey for what they do. We talk about Adobe being a problem. Wacom, you've been the staple for tablets. I've been a Wacom user for years, but you're charging $500 for a small screen Wacom Cintiq. It's not really that great. You want to I understand you want to charge $2,000 for the deluxe. We probably are going to eventually try and get to the deluxe because we do this for a living. We do art, we do drawing. Even during my time on, or my regular job, I'm doing art. while I'm not, my job isn't art. Yeah, I am doing art during my lunch breaks. I'm doing things in my life that constantly use art. We use Clip Paint Studio on both my iPad and here on the PC, which is what we use right now. And just bring things to life. We have several different stories to tell. Like I said, Witchin' is a new one that we're doing. Kind of a interesting, it's a comedy series. Why am I drawing over there? I'm trying to freaking hit the scroll up button. There we go. But, I mean, Witchin' is basically, if you were catching us live last year, before we went off stream, we had done this one literally in the last few days. We came up with the idea. I drew it live on stream, and in fact, the very same title of the stream is the very same title of the first two chapters, which is Something Witchy Comes This Way. It is available on Tapas and also on Webtoon, Demon Blade as well. If you can't afford it, you can read it on there, or you can read it on demonbladecomic.com, where we do it, release it live, and you can read them as they are. We also have a couple other things, like this week we have got more releases of our RPG system, which is called called Green Lightning. Those who didn't know, we did back in 2000. I just figured this out last week because I was doing updates to it. We did the Naruto RPG rules all the way back in 2007. So, I mean, right as Naruto is becoming popular, we had the RPG rules. We also had RPG rules for Fairy Tail, and we have rules for One Piece. We are slowly reintroducing those along with the new system because, well, Wizards wanted to be a butt. And, because Wizards wants to be a butt, we have to completely change the rules around. So, gee, thanks, Wizards. So, we've been going through doing that. I think that's been something I've been able to do a lot more while I was homeless, working from libraries, working on my iPad, working on my old laptop, which has since died on me. So yeah, I mean, it's essentially what we're going to be doing this week, because we do Patreon release artwork as well. There is no Patreon release on DeviantArt this week, because it is literally Green Lightning release. It is a Green Lightning week. So we will be releasing Green Lightning content. And I've got to finish up actually last week's content for my Patreon sponsors, which is going to be more of, in this case, the Demon Blade 2000 comic, which was a special comic that we released. We kind of helped delay it a bit on DeviantArt, and people wanted it to continue. We're continuing it. We also are releasing the One Piece Days at Seas with it on opposable weeks of the Demon Blade 2000 release. So if people wondering when the next One Piece one it'll be bouts, unless we get some new Patreon sponsors that want new content, comics that they want. We do those on, we'll be doing those about maybe a month and a half from today. So that next content will come out then. Right now, let's see, we should have, that did not come out well. Came out a little bit well, but then it got messy. But let's talk about Witchin'. Witchin' is, like I said, a new series that we started. Basically tells the story of a witch, well, a warlock to be honest, named Theodore Webwood. and his basically issues with his father letting him go and learn from humans to become a better mage, to become a better magic user. So in order to become a better magic user, Theodore's come up with the idea to go to the human side of the Veil, where humans live on a separate side of sort of a magical barrier between worlds. But they sort of share, it's more like the physical world is still shared, but the, like parts of the world are segmented off for magic users and magical creatures and all that kind of stuff. So, and I'm kind of using a little bit of our current history and world history to match up in the series. So you're going to have events like World War II occurred, but you had mages on one side of the battles versus, another. There was still the witch trials, which is going to be very much a prominent feature of, it's already been a prominent feature in the comic. That basically the father in issue 1 is warning Theodore about, hey, they're going to reopen the witch trials. So in order to keep it secret, in order to keep the traveling and becoming a college student secret, Theodore just took on the guise through transmutation magic of Ida Wansdale, a beautiful little witch that lands in a lot of trouble because Theodore is not exactly, while they're bright in magic and they're intelligent in a lot of things, they're very, well, the best word is ignorant in a lot of other things. And so they are going to be dealing with a lot of issues in life. It's very much a gender bender if you kind of enjoy it. Comedy series, a little bit towards like a witchy base of Rama 1/2, a little bit here and there. But you're going to also see some characters such as the character Valoran Wansdale, who is basically established somewhat through Theodore's undoing as cousins. But they aren't actually cousins, of course, because Theodore's not actually related to them. But basically, he is Gaston. So if you want to kind of see a Gaston in an anime, this is the character to keep an eye out for. He's brazen, he's a flamboyant Hollywood actor that is just full of himself. And he's going to be playing a bigger role as the series goes on. We're doing it as a monthly series, so it's 16 pages each month. So it's a little bit of wait on between issues, but then I am doing 16 pages a month, versus what Demon Blade releases as 4 pages a month. Demon Blade has, of course, picked back up on the saga, the start of the Homecoming saga, where we have the story of the secondhand sword maker, which is, the story of our sword maker of the Demon Blade that we met at the beginning, Kaji, and a little girl named Ruth Turtle. And it's going to be going on, and we're finally in the flashback of Kaji. We're going to get a little bit clue of Kinyoku, our current villain of the arc, and one of the main villains of the series. I'm just not doing this tie well. God dang. Son of a bitch. This is why I have not gotten used to the tablet so much anymore. We're gonna do the flip again. But yeah, we have the tale of Soburo Kaji coming into play, and very much it's set up for what will be the end of the Homecoming arc, because the next parts after this are going to be a football game, which will be the next chapter, called the Into the Gridiron. It's going to be a part of a two-parter that will lead directly into the main fight. So if you're wondering, hey, why is there the next one going to be a sports story, kind of, because it's still magic, mayhem, and all kinds of fun, but it's going into a sports theme next episode. It's mainly to give a little bit of light and shine to a couple of the characters of the series. It's why I wrote it the way it was. It also introduces a golem in the next chapter that I will leave his name off because he's only appeared before in the original series. We did do the Demon Blade before as a monthly that we stopped back in 2015 to do redraw because we lost the pages to issues 1 through 13 of the series. So we've been redrawing them, recreating the comic in a different style, a far more cleaner style, far better look overall. And we've just have it set up to tell the story a little bit better. We tell much more of the backstories of the characters. We give more flesh to the characters out than we did last time. Characters like this is very much, the Homecoming story is very much my story. So if you've been reading it and you've been waiting for when is Mai going to actually have more of her story, this is the arc. This is Mai's arc. There is a little bit with Tetsu here and there, but it's Mai's arc for the most part. She is, of course, the reason the Demon Blade exists. It is her heart that became a Demon Blade. And we're literally going to be seeing that in the next few pages of Demon Blade over the next few weeks. That Mai, basically, her heart being taken, we'll see a little bit more definition in chapter 14. Yes, it's going from, we're on 9, it's all the way to 14. And that's the way it's written. We will have, of course, a big bad battle with Yoku, Shin Yoku, who is a disgraced samurai, member of what was the same group as the 47 Ronin in history. Been using a lot of historical events. In fact, I'll probably pull up this week's page a little bit later, and I will explain a little saying that Shin makes in that chapter and what the actual relevance of it is in history. Man, trying to get this hair. All right, his glasses are square. So let's do some square frames. Son of a bitch. But yeah, we will be doing more on the, we'll go into a bit more on Demon Blade, or Witchin here, excuse me, not Demon Blade. Witchin, you're going to see this next chapter, literally, that is going to come out on the 1st, because we do releases on the 1st of each month. And so you're going to get to meet the roommate. You're going to get to meet our wonderful, lovely roommate of Abigail, Sussman. Yes, Sussman. That is her name. Because she is so sus. But, yeah, Abigail is definitely probably one of my weirder creations. As far as a comic character, she's very open and sporadic. She's very lively versus most of the other characters. She, in a way, she's kind of like Sarah in Demon Blade, but she's more, also a little bit like Mai, combination of the two, but far more happy-go-lucky. And Ida's happy-go-lucky. Ida's not really dark and gloomy. There may be moments, but the series is primarily a comedy, so we're going to focus primarily on the comedy aspect of it. There'll be some interesting musing moments that I don't want to spoil on a stream. Even if I draw them on stream, I probably won't explain what's going on in them. So, let's see here. I just want to, yeah, I'm biting my pencil. I always kind of do that. That's not a sexual thing, but it could be. But yeah, no, we... Oh man, I'm kidding myself. Oh my god. Yeah, I love to do stories. I love to tell things. Will we do any more of our story time, our other stories? We do have our, Isekai series that we will come back to. I've been trying to work through a bit of a writer's block because I kind of wrote the current villain of the second arc of the story to be a little bit difficult. So she's being a little bit of a pain in the ass to write. And I'm trying to make sure I write it right because she is freaking evil. Evil as all can be. And I wanted to show, because most people, it was voted on that we do lust as the next sin for that story arc. And I wanted to do lust a bit differently than most anime or comics or manga have done lust. Yes, it's a woman. Yes, she's sexual in very nature. But I wanted to do it more of a lust of corruption, a lust of true, not just raw sexual lust, but just lust for power, which is something different. And the character creation. And so, I mean, you're going to see a little bit of that. I know I released one chapter while I was on it, literally living out of my car. And that chapter showed a little bit of her on how evil she can be. Literally, basically holding our wolf buddy, Alabaster, for ransom. Doing a little bit of naughtiness there, even though Alabaster loved her and thought the world of her. She's showing her true form to basically her, and is now forcing Alabaster's hand against Azul, our main character in the series. And because of that, Azul is going to have to make tougher choices for Alabaster. And then there's the matter of Alabaster's girlfriend, the girl Keel. Yeah, that's right. I have to remember my character's name. Good lord. The girl Keel, who became this dirt earth monster through the curse that they're facing. And he basically has to be saved. And it's going to be up to our main character and the team that they brought with them to find a way to save them. All right. But in Witchin, it's mainly going to be a little bit of humor. It's a lot about discovering yourself. Because unlike Tetsu, who in Demon Blade comes in and who's trans, Tetsu knows who they are, who they wanted to be, and sort of hid that from the world. But in the case of Theodore and Theodore never really thought about what he was into, and we'll kind of go into that in chapter 4 a little bit, because you'll get a bit of Abigail going into what Ida is into as basically partners, love partners. Because Abigail's going to mess with her a lot. Abigail's that kind of character that's going to be getting into the head of the main character. And it's sort of, Abigail's just chaos. And that's the way I've written her. She's just an element complete chaos. Personalize, additional. I don't like how I did that last part. But yeah, personality-wise, Abigail's an element of complete chaos, which makes up for Theodore, who tends to be a little more planning and meticulous about what they think they want out of the world and what they're actually getting out of the world. A lot of Theodore's, Ida's discovery is going to be whether or not, or them adapting to the world as a girl instead of a boy all their life. But hey, if that's not your thing, we do have a few other stories that aren't trans-related. I do plan to release 11 Kingdoms. We have a new cover we did over the homelessness scenario. Once I got the iPad set up, we were able to put in the new cover. And I'm working on it slowly to come out in paperback, hardcover, and whatnot through Amazon as well. We have a deal with Amazon. If people are wondering why I keep going with Amazon, we've been one of their first comic releases regularly with Demon Blade originally. So if you wanted to really read the older versions of Demon Blade, some of them are still available on Amazon. I've not removed them yet. When the newer series gets to it and comes out with those particular chapters, they will go away. Because yeah, I want to promote the better work than the cheaper work that we've done. Let's see here. We're just doing our line work for right now, and then we'll come in with color in a bit. We want to make sure we finish our line work. So I'm just trying to make sure we're closing up some things here. I don't think he really has any pupils, does he? Good Lord. He doesn't. I don't know. Well, I don't know if the artist draws pupils originally. So you're going to want to make his hair a little bit more square because that's what he got for hair. And we're going to do a little bit there. I know I'm slipping out of the voice a lot, but I've been practicing a lot as well, and my voice is a little stiff. We haven't done this for a full year, and, well, it's a little out of practice. So we're going to keep doing things what we can. Actually, his hair goes the other way, so let's do that. And it's a little bit bigger. Alright, let's zoom out a bit so you guys can see where I'm at. We've gotten the line work mostly done for our two characters here. So we might as well start getting some of the color, and then we'll work our way through to the background. It's usually the way I kind of work. Unless I have a background planned for a scene or for a comic, I don't really use the background that much. I'm going to turn my AC on because I am sweltering. So if you hear it, I apologize. It's just the AC going on, so I cannot melt in here. Unfortunately, it's a rainy, cold day outside, but it's sweltering hot in my apartment. So, I do see one mistake I want to fix. Down here. And I'm going to try and get something set up with streaming off the iPad, or not streaming off, streaming the artwork off the iPad by Tuesday. It's just a little easier seeing what I can do under my hand instead of seeing it on a screen anymore. Even though this is the way I've drawn comics for several years, with my hand, especially my left hand being damaged, it's kind of really hard to get a hold and a handle on what I'm drawing on. As greatly as it used to be. I also gotta do this necklace, which looks like it's kind of a Dracula necklace. It's the only way I can describe it. It looks like a Dracula necklace. We'll treat it like a Dracula necklace. What I mean by that, it's sort of a pendant with a gem inside, but it has sort of like a, I don't know, what kind of, is it a pentagram or is it no, not a pentagram. It's actually more of a Star of David, honestly. So it's more of the 6-angled star, not the 5-angled that is the pentagram. That was originally thought of. So we're going to add some color. The eyes and the tie are the same color. And I will give the creator of this, let me pull up their name here. I'm going to pull up the thumbnail that we've got. So I have that to work from. Where is the thumbnail? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. That stuff I'll later show if we have time. Come on. Get down to where my thumbnails are. Tiny Doodles. Thumbnails. Alright. So, I'm just opening this up. So this is by Guinea a Pig Miku. I hope I'm saying that right. Guinea a Pig Miku. They were the ones put in this request this week. We had taken a few requests in the past. Unfortunately, I'm trying to make sure I lock them down again. I know some people requested. We have changed the rules a bit of Dining and Doodles. We wanted to make sure that people understand this is more of a family-friendly show. We do allow swearing, but we do not allow... We gotta step away from more fetishistic art. If it's word to say that. I do have a large following of a kind of art that's called masking. And I'm not a big fan of masking. I've told this to people before. So we've had to put that as a no on Dining and Doodles because it is family friendly here. We have to keep it a little bit family friendly because it is YouTube standard. Same with Twitch. So we can't, there's certain things we are not allowed to air. So what we have here is one, these are quick illustrations or character designs. You can ask for a character design if you want one. No comic requests. We do comics, and we will be doing a comic series live with Drivel Draw, but we will not be doing it live on Dining and Doodles because these are requests, and it takes too long to do a comic. You won't be seeing me finish a comic on Drivel Draw. You'll just see me working on maybe 1 or 2 panels. Requests must meet family-friendly nature of streaming, like I said. No masking art. There are 2 hours to draw it, so the more complicated you ask, the less work that can be done. I'm giving a little more leniency today, even though we've only hit 1 hour so far. We still have to do the background. If you listed coming up, you cannot request another one for 2 months. That is simply so we don't have a lot of repeat people asking for requests at the same time. So people aren't like, okay, well, when's my request coming out? Well, that's simply. And lastly, don't be overly pushy. We've had some people in the past that have gotten really, really pushy about their requests. They spam about their requests in other people's artwork, and that's just not right. That is just not right. We want to be inviting to all people to put in a request. We will do anything as long as it's not offensive or is allowed on YouTube. We cannot do nudes. Needless to say, we cannot do nudes. We can do a little scantily, but it's still pushing it. But we can still do scantily. I mean, hell, look at me. I'm scantily. I'm not exactly the best to say you can't be scantily. But yeah, we will be posting the release schedule monthly. I'm going to be trying to go through some of the stuff tomorrow and posting a release schedule for October. Literally this upcoming week. It'll be on the Dining or our DeviantArt page, which is EmbryoArt. So basically, if you go to DeviantArt/EmbryoArt, you will get our page. You get to see all the stuff we release art-wise as it comes out publicly. There, we also have our Facebook page and our. I don't want to call it Twitter anymore. It's not Twitter. I know it says Twitter down below on our little link. I know that says Twitter. It's X now. I don't want to call it the X formerly known as Twitter. That's dumb. It's dumb to call it X anyways in the first place, but that's what they call it now. So it's X. So you can follow us on X, you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on DeviantArt, Instagram, Patreon as Patreon/DemonBlade. And you can follow us on pretty much any platform. We do have a Reddit page, although I don't really do much on the Reddit page. We do have a Discord page, but I don't do much on the Discord either. Because it's a lot of work. And yeah, maybe down the line, if we get enough people coming and get enough streamers, maybe we'll do some, we'll have some people to help take care of those for us a little bit better. And I completely screwed that up. I completely forgot that I need to close down the shirt there. All right. There we go. Closing the shirt. Getting the color up. Dang it. All right, I'm going to use the mouse because it's going to be a little easier than using the pen tool to do that. I still got to finish the belt too. On him, let's see. These characters, I mean, this is the only image he really had of this character. I think it's a he. I could be wrong. Genny, if I'm saying it wrong and you're she, I apologize. Or a they, I apologize. We try to be friendly to all here, no matter what religion, creed, whatever. As people know, I am actually trans myself in real life, but I also don't follow trans memes. I'm not your typical trans person. I try to be the best person that I can be, and that's what I live by. That's my code. That's my creed. Be the best that I can be of myself. And, if you don't like me after that, then hey, that's your choice. I'm going to be what I can be and try to work at that. I realize he doesn't have ears. So we already have a mistake here that I'm going to have to correct. He doesn't have ears. He has bangs. We need to work on his bangs. We're going to hide his ears and do his bangs. So, I mean, I kind of did a bang there. Let's do a bang over here. And then I'm saving the sort of stubble for another point, and I'm on the wrong thing. I'm on a pencil there. All right. There we go. All right, so we got a little bit of a thing. I mean, it's the problem here with using this image, this particular image right here, that he drew. I'm gonna circle it because I realize you guys can't see some of this. This image here. Well, no wonder why you can't see it on the freaking another layer. Oh. Let's go above. Let's do a layer above. Alright, this image here, it's blued out. This is what you get when you usually photograph an image or scan it, and it doesn't quite take out. It comes blued in. And over time, it's okay, but you lose the color, Richmond. You need a white out. You need a white balance your work. White balance your cameras, white balance your screen, and that will help you deal with it a little bit better, getting a richer color if you're using a scanner. So that's just a little bit of a tip for you. I'm guessing we're going with a little bit of a dirty brown to blonde or yellow hair for the character. And I did not switch to the right layer, did I? Nope. Alright. Go back to the layer. Alright. We're going to go with a little bit of a dirty blonde to work from, and then we'll work our way out from there. I know it sucks. It's going to be white on white here, but a lot of white since he did lab coats. There's a lot of white here for the design. Alright, let's close off the jacket from the shirt. Now, we're doing blue, red, and green for the eye and yellow for the hair. So we're kind of running into a typical trap for early artists to do. And that is not determining a good color scheme for your character. When you draw a character out, they did a great color scheme here for the original character, for the secondary character, the one over here that we're going to be drawing or bringing out. But the one with the 3 eyes, they did not do a very good job with the color coordination because you want to keep it at a limit of like 2 to 3 colors that you're using. If you look at my own palette on the stream, I use pink, I use darker pink, a little bit of purple, keeping the color scheme around the same color. So it's more of a monochrome to more of a lighter themed color scheme. We have a little bit of blue in there, but we keep it around the cooler pinks to purples to blue. So, I mean, it's a nice, unique, and stylized way. When you go a little too far down the color spectrum and have too much in it, that's when you get sort of a strain to the eyes. It doesn't look good on a person. It doesn't look good in a drawing or a painting when a character has too much color to them, making them too busy, too unlikable of the such. I don't know if I've been on, let me try to pull up my Twitch, because I have not been able to see if Twitch is working. I can see how if YouTube is working, kind of, but it didn't show in the stream there. So we're gonna pull up our Twitch and see what we got going here. Let me just get that. Where is my Twitch? There's my Twitch. So I muted it. And okay, I'll worry about it later. If you're on Twitch, say something in chat. I want to see if it pops up. We had issues before with Streamlabs. They've upgraded since we've been gone, and I don't know if Twitch works in the chat. It should be working in chat now, because we now have our YouTube and our Twitch hooked up properly. But I don't know if my chat's even working right. If you have, and I haven't seen it, I apologize if I'm not bringing in chat. We're working through the kinks of the new setup. We had to go to a new setup for a lot of different things. We wanted a different look coming in. It's been over a year. We wanted to change our things. We do have some lore. We have lore. Stupid lore. We're playing into the Abbott and Costello bit. Since our name is I Don't Know. Or I Don't Know. Yeah. We're playing into that bit. So, dadgummit. I was not hitting that for you. So, yeah. The lore is we're on third base. We are the monitor of all things known and unknown. I wanted to do a lot more than I could, but it was a matter of technology, a matter of timing, and a matter of my editing skills and streaming skills, and they're still amateurish. But I mean, hey, we're back after a year. I can't complain entirely. We did promise that we would be back, and I'm just glad that I am back in the seat. We're going to be working on trying to get the stream set up properly. Gone are the days of us doing long streams, though. A lot of people asked, hey, do you want to come back and do these 15-hour streams that you're doing with Persona 4, like we did with Persona 4? And the answer is no. I am older, I am sicker, and I am tired. I am not going to be able to sit there and do long hour streams for hours on end. But we will be doing our gaming streams. Maybe we might have a special stream where we might do a 4 to 5 hour stream. We might even do a Let's Watch with something that is anime related or YouTube related. In fact, I can give my review of a One Piece live action if people want that. I mean, it's decent. It's good. It's better than what we've gotten. So that's the main thing. Yes, it's good. That being said, there are a few parts that I have issue. And it's a few parts that I've not heard anybody else's review that are a One Piece fan really bring up. And it's kind of irked me that no one's brought it up. The one issue that really gets me is, yeah, we have all this amazing makeup and work and character work, and the acting's amazing, but there's one scene in particular that everybody loves, but it irks me wrong that they didn't go this extra mile with makeup in that scene. And that is Sanji's backstory. The kid's on there for 70 full days. Not 7, not 10, 17, 70. He should not look like he went when he got there on the first day. The least they could have done is like an hour of makeup on Sanji. On Kid Sanji. To at least make him look a little emancipated, a little hunger deprived. At most, he's got like a smudge of dirt. And I was like, seriously, this is supposed to be one of the more tragic stories in the East Blue arc. It's supposed to be one of the things that we mostly like to see. I do feel Nami's was a little less as well. I do feel that it was not as powerful of the backstory because they didn't really lay it up as powerfully as it went in the series. That's not to say it's bad. It's just, it didn't hit me as well as it does in the manga or in the anime. It wasn't as strong. There are elements that they do well, though. Buggy is one of them. I've seen almost everybody praises the actor for Buggy, and then the way they've dealt with Buggy. That being said, I want Buggy to go to the sideline. After Logtown, Buggy should be on the sideline. We should not have Buggy popping up in the middle of Alabaster or in the middle of Little Garden or Drum Island. We should not have Buggy showing up. We should let other actors come into play. Maybe we'll have some back scenes with Buggy, but we spent way too much time on Marines, and particularly Garp, that it kind of cut the teeth of the Marines, in my opinion. We don't get the strong of a feel, and wow, I just realized his butt is huge, or his thighs are huge, the way I drew him. Let's do that. We'll bring the shirt in and do this. Okay. I feel having Garp in there, I get what they were going for. I really do. But having Garp come in and be the big sort of, because I mean, even Arlong's not the big antagonist of this of that arc. It's actually Garp. I get that they went with it mainly to give Luffy and Garp's backstory a little bit better, because they're probably not going to get all the way to deeper in the story. We might, and this is saying that Netflix really holds out on how much they're making off of this series, and how much it's costing them. We might get to Water 7, but we're probably not going to get to Marineford. We won't see Brook. Maybe we'll see him in passing in a glimpse, but maybe we'll see Brook in human form when we get to Reverse Mountain, but we're not going to see Brook the Skeleton. I am almost adamant we're not going to see him. Chopper is probably going to be done with a combination of a dwarf actor, probably, or a child actor in makeup. So sort of how like they did a bit with Buggy and the Fishmen, they're going to have a child or a dwarf actor that can be in makeup for a long time. Or they're going to do a puppet, or they're going to do CGI. I don't think they're going to go CGI, though. They didn't go hard on the CGI in the first season. They're probably not going to go hard on the CGI in the second. They'll have some CGI moments. We better damn well see Luffy get sucked dry. I don't want to just see him go limp. And when he's being attacked by Crocodile, I want to see him get sucked dry. So do some CGI that makes him look like he's being, dried out. Whatever. Nagi's an amazing actor, but at times you're still going to have to use technology or makeup or something to give us a little bit more, just a tiny bit more on the end of the look of the series. Because the way it is, Fishmen were okay. And I mean, the Fishmen were going to be goofy no matter what. I expected that much. Devil Fruit were okay. I don't have much of an issue with Luffy's not using the Devil Fruit that often because of they need to, one, choreograph, and two, CGI it. And we're talking, even though it's near a movie budget, it's still a very costly thing to do CGI for. And so I'd like to see probably a puppet of Chopper. I don't want to see a child actor in it. I don't want to see it. I'm going to wipe out the eyebrows because I just saw how the eyebrows are on this character. I don't want to see what looks like a very bad CGI character. Let's get a puppet. I mean, Chopper's cute. You can get some I'm LM. Somebody pointed out that you could do it pretty much like you do Grogu in the Mandalorian series. So you can probably do something similar with Chopper. It does mean that we're probably going to get less scenes with Chopper, and we might get a full actor in when he goes human form or muscle form or something, one of the other forms. But it'll be interesting to see how much of Chopper we see in the series. Do I think they're gonna do? I mean, I worry for Zoan Fruit. I really do. We're gonna be getting with Chopper. We kind of get Zoan Fruit, even though spoilers for those who have. Well, I mean, heck, it's out on the anime. So, yeah. Luffy's fruit is a Zoan fruit. So we know that now. Zoan fruits are unique. That they're animal hybrids, and they're good and bad werewolf movies. And it comes down to either the CGI, the makeup, or the suit that you kind of put them in, and that's what we're going to get with Chopper. I hate to say it, we're probably going to get a CGI suit in some modes. We might not even have any modes of Chopper. We might have him continuously as Little Chopper, Puppet Chopper, or like a massive form. We're not getting 7 modes, I don't think. But that's okay, because we don't do much fighting. That's something else to bring up. There's not as much fighting as there used to be. They want to go with more of a story-driven end of One Piece, which for shonen it's understandable for a live-action series versus a shonen. I do have my fears for other shonen series that they're bringing out in the live-action, particularly Netflix. Because we're getting Yu Yu Hakusho, we're getting Naruto. I think we're getting Naruto. And we're getting My Hero Academia. We may be getting Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer probably be the one that is easier to adapt. I hate to say it. Because it's not... Only the demons are sort of weirdly shaped, and you can probably do it through sort of the old traditional 80s sort of ILM, 80s and 90s ILMs sort of suits. Where it's both puppetry and mechanics. Kind of like how they did the Ninja Turtles movie back in the 90s and 80s. So, where it's all puppetry and full suits that people wear. You can probably see that with the Demons and Demon Slayers. Maybe we'll see that a bit with some of the characters in One Piece. But I expect that we're going to see a very limited use of Zoans. We'll see Chopper in a form, more than likely the Brain Point form, which is where he usually sits anyway, in the series. The rumor of Jamie Lee Curtis in season 2, I think it could be doable. I think it could be workable. Jamie Lee Curtis loves the character Chopper. She loves the series. And she's been asked if she'll play Kureha, and she said she wanted to play Robin, but yeah, at her age, it's not going to be appropriate for her to play Robin. But playing Kureha, that is definitely a finale, and we'd have our first sort of big celebrity character coming into play. Maybe we'll see somebody else come into play. But I don't know. It's all going to come down, of course, to the writer's strike. And honestly, the writers can keep on striking, in my opinion. I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but I don't care for much of Hollywood. And it's mainly because how arrogant and overblown the actors are. Yes, there are some actors that have to go through a lot of training. but a lot of them often tend to forget that there's an audience, and a lot of Hollywood forgets that there's an audience. And when you defy what people want out of a movie or out of a series, you get what we've been getting the last few years, and it just really doesn't make you want to kind of be a part of, viewership on movies and films. I watched a lot more films while I was homeless because, well, I needed to escape heat or environmental conditions for some way. So I'd go to a movie theater. Once I had my job, I would go into a movie theater and tend to watch a movie. I am one of the rare occurrences of having watched, the John Wick movies. I only have watched 4. So I have only watched the film that ends it, for now. I unfortunately spoiled it for my dad, because I told him how it ended, and I didn't realize he was a huge John Wick fan. So I kind of spoiled it for my dad, and so I told him about the ending. But I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you can keep going." No. Since it's Keanu Reeves produces the John Wick films, the fact that Keanu Reeves gave it a very Spike Spiegel ending, and Keanu Reeves wanted the Cowboy Bebop live action. He was a huge fan of Cowboy Bebop, and he got the Spike Spiegel ending in John Wick. He basically, I don't think, is coming back, and unless they pay him an awful lot of money, or do a prequel. They could do a prequel, I guess. But I don't know if Keanu Reeves himself would play in that prequel, because you're talking about a man who's in his, late 50s, I believe, now. That is getting older and not as spry to keep doing something like John Wick. But I mean, Tom Cruise keeps doing what he does, and he's in his 70s, 80s, I think, now. So I don't know. It depends on how in shape Keanu Reeves wants to keep doing it. It's very tiresome, I imagine, on actors. Very painful. Movies that I was impressed with over the year so far. Mario movie. I was impressed with the Mario movie. I was in the camp that, I don't know if I want Chris Pratt to be Mario in the movie. I felt the only character that was very much just the character, didn't play out the role as well, was Seth Rogen, who played Donkey Kong. I feel it was just Seth Rogen, not Donkey Kong at all. I do feel Chris Pratt did a decent job. Because I grew up with a Brooklyn-speaking Mario, okay? I grew up with Lou Ferrigno from WWF playing Mario, all right? I'm used to hearing a very Brooklyn voice coming out, and they kind of did a bit of a Brooklyn voice with Chris Pratt. So they kind of brought him back to the original Mario, in my opinion, the original voice of Mario. Because before we even had the voice of Mario, who just recently retired from the games, we had Lou Ferrigno. We also had the Japanese Mario voice in the Mario anime that came out. God, it had to be the 80s. If you didn't know, yes, there is a Mario movie out, anime movie back in the 80s. It is not good. It is a very bad Mario movie. But at the same time, it exists before. So to say we haven't had a Mario before, well, I mean, we had the awful, so awful it's good kind of movie with Bob Hoskins, and so I mean that was good, but I mean at the same time it was just bad. But I mean, sometimes you want a movie to be like that. Sometimes you want a movie to be horribly bad and laughable. Which kind of makes me hurt even though I went to all these movies this year, I did not go to Cocaine Bear. I still have yet to watch it. I still have yet to watch Cocaine Bear, and that was on my list to watch this year. So I still need to watch it. And of course, we do streams. We do the Anime Anticlimax, like I said, monthly, where this week we're doing Shinesman's, unless the schedule changes, unless we can't do the stream. We're going to be doing that. It's literally a 2-episode anime that was released in around 1990. Well, no, 96, around 96. That is just cheese. The entire thing is one big cheese fest. There's another anime that I want us to eventually get to, which is Elf Princess Lane, which is just as cheesy. And I know that the Simpson, aka Brandon, has a copy of, because I gave him my copy of Elf Princess Lane. I saw both actually in a convention. I was at the premiere convention for Shinesman and for Elf Princess Lane, because they were just little cheap one-shots for a quick buck on video, VHS. So they're nice little ones. I don't know if Elf Princess Rain is on YouTube, but I do know Shinesman is. It's just me. I mean, I don't know why it's not been memed. We have another series that I probably want to get to eventually at one point, that I love, that is just cheesy. I don't know if many people have seen it, and that is Digichurat. If you don't know Digichurat, and you're an anime fan, you've probably seen the characters in Elements. And they've had a couple of releases in the US, and I don't know if they've re-released the series on DVD lately, but the series is just cat girl silliness, just nonsense, just complete nonsense. I did not ask Siri anything. You saw it. No one asked Siri anything. Why Siri's coming on, I don't know. We will definitely be talking about one Triple Draw. I think my place is haunted. That is not a reference of why it's haunted. I think Siri is haunted in general, but I think my place is haunted. And I say that in jest, but it'll definitely be one to talk about around closer to Halloween. We're going to do that story. But yeah, I have reasons, and they've been a bit unnerving, a bit creepy. But yeah, going back to the Digichurat, it's cute, it's stupid, it's just nonsense. You get moments like warm, fluffy rice. That is one of my favorite bits. My friends keep even in the group, when we do Anime Anticlimax, we might make a reference to warm, fuzzy rice, which is, I think was me misquoting a part of the anime at some point when I was showing it to them. Because the main character is having dreams, and she just says, warm, fluffy rice, and that's literally the scene. I mean, she just keeps saying that over and over in a dream, and the dream turns into, of course, a nightmare. And I was like, well, warm, fuzzy rice, So, yeah, that's sort of what you get in that series. It's a little bit more entertaining. It's just silly nonsense, which we don't really get. I mean, a lot of people got into the, what is it? I'm forgetting the damn name of the series right now. A couple of the weirder series that have come out over the years. I mean, none of them are really just strange comedy moments. We talked about on stream Cromartie High. We went through that series. That's sort of the same element. We don't get these weird, just nonsensical comedy anymore, really, from anime. They do exist, but they're not as done prominently these days. You get a lot more isekai, a lot more shonen titles, a couple shoujos, a lot of idol shows, but you don't really get stuff like Cromartie or Digi-Sharat or Heinzman. You don't really get those anymore. Those were purely a thing of the 90s when the video was the thing. When, hey, you know, they would make these direct-to-video or try to sell off these ideas of a very crappy manga or anime. It's where you get your ghost stories time period, where it was such a bad... If you've ever watched the sub of Ghost Stories, you understand why the dub is infamous. Because the sub sucks. It's a horrible anime. But it was picked up by ADV at the time for basically, I think, one of the other shows that they purchased that they felt was going to be a much bigger draw. And a lot of ADV titles have shown over the years that they're not that big of a draw. The main one ADV had was, of course, Evangelion. I could spoil it. I guess I could. It is on Prime, the final of it, and I've watched all of Eva, and not a big fan. Not a big fan. I became less of a fan because of the movies. If that's to say. I mean, the movies were good, but I hate Shinji more from the movies. Because and I'll spoil it here, he does create Third Impact. So the reason they have Third Impact, which in the TV series they never really got to. They never had Third Impact. They built to it in the end. But we never got to Third Impact. In the movies, Shinji causes Third Impact. Shinji's the fuck up that does it. And yes, I'll use the curse word there. I do not see Shinji as any better than his father, and his father is a horrible man. They try to redeem him, which there's no redemption for Gendo Akari. In my opinion, there's never a redemption for Gendo Akari. The man was and always is a monster. In anime. But I just could not, for the life of me, come to like the movies ending. I do like the movies, but I mean, the way it ended was the most in-your-face to the fans, I feel. Because it's like, hey, is he going to choose Asuka? Is he going to choose Rei? Is he going to choose, Kaworu, the gay love interest that he always gets shipped with in Doujinshi, or even in the other manga sources of Eva. No, he doesn't get any of those girls. Does he get Kusanagi? No, none of those girls. None of those girls. He gets Marin, who we really don't get anything on other than she just appears. Why she's a character? I don't know. I have no clue. But, I mean, she's the girl that ends up with Shinji. For some reason. And we're supposed to care. Yep. We're supposed to care. It's like, alright. Well, it's like the quintuplets. I've watched the quintuplets over my break period of the year. The quintessential quintuplets. I watched it. I enjoyed the series. I fell in love with the series. The choice in the end was wrong. We all know the choice in the end was wrong. That was not the right choice. I get why the creator made it that choice. I get that it was his... Basically, he created the choice based off of his own wife. But the fact that we really didn't get as Yosku, or Yon, I forget her name, Yo. Basically, she's the fourth one. Or, no, middle one. She's the middle one. But yeah, we didn't get much character development of her until the movie. And in the manga, we didn't get much development of her till that end point in the manga. And it was frustrating. It really was. On how just laughably bad that choice is. It's like, oh, let's do the build-up of all these other characters, and we have this one character that's clearly the better choice. Is it her? No. It's the one we have nothing to know about, and we only kind of glance at. Given she's the always willing to do everything for somebody character, and I like it, like that kind of character personality, but at the same time, she really kind of annoyed me in the first season. The second season, she grew on me a bit more, but in the first season, she really grew on, tested my gears as a character. And I was hoping to at least see some character growth out of her as I watched the series, but people were right on the internet. It was the wrong choice. The wrong choice. Congratulations, you chose your wife, and you chose wrongly. But, that's the creator's choice. That's the creator's decision in something. I can say it was the wrong choice, fans can say it's the wrong choice, but ultimately it's the creators. I've got the love triangle with Tetsu and Mai and Kyle, and I know the choice there. Fans don't. There are going to be other rivals in that choice. There'll be more choices in that choice brought in. But in the end, I know where the story's going to end, and whether or not people want it to be with Kyle, or want Tetsu to be with Kyle, or want Tetsu to be with Ryoshi, which I previewed a bit in the series, or Mai. It's the decision's already made. I know where the story's going. But at the same time, I get where a fan would be like, no, I want it with this character. They need to be with Mai, or they need to be with Kyle, or they need to be with Ryushi. And it's the story that is the way it is. That's sort of how you write it, and congrats on the creator. It is a great show, a great series, and that's sort of how you gotta take it. You have people who be problematic or hate on things, and that's where you come down to the choice of, do I listen to the audience, or do I listen to what I wrote, what I wanted to tell of this story? And as a creator, you kind of have to. Going back to the theme of sort of our stream in general, of accepting life as it is. Enjoying life as it is, making life of what we make it. Sometimes you have to accept it. I'm having to come to terms, like I said at the beginning of the stream, with my health. I'm having to come to terms with not being able to walk properly, not being able to eat proper foods anymore. Those are going to be issues in my life for the rest of my life that I'm going to have to deal with. And I'd like to sit down and be like, who wrote this crap for me? Because I want to redo. I jokingly tell people, I'd love. It's time to turn in the body because the warranty's bad. But at the same time, I have to move on. I can't sit there and let my life be destroyed by what I have been given. So, I have to sit down and move on. And a lot of today's world, a lot of people, a lot of things don't want to move on in life, don't want to accept that they're going to have to find something in life that they're going to have to set and go, okay, I'm going to call a draw here. and I'm going to push to do something different with my life, or I'm going to push to be better in this way. A lot of people just want to fight each other, and it's sadly the world we've come into. Just looking at the crime rates going on in the world, looking at people, how they act with each other, that's probably not the best way to do it. We're going to go back and do this separately. Okay. Let's do that on a different layer. And we want to do more of a pentagonal. Let's do the star first, and then we'll do the gem for it and everything. So we'll do star first. I'm going to do... That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. So we're doing a Star of David, essentially, for this gem that he wears, or pentagram that he wears, or whatever it is. Not pentagram, and it's a hexagram. Yeah, we're basically, you just gotta accept things happening in the world and not... The ways to change it is to be a better person, to be a better you, to find something that makes you feel better, but also helps others out. And I hate to see, the bitterness, the just disgust we each have for each other. As I said, as a trans person, a trans creator, I know there are people that don't like me just because of who I am. But I'm going to still create. It's not going to knock me down because somebody hates me. I would like to make, friends and be nicer with people and all that, but it's a tough world. It's a tough world, and we have to accept that sometimes in this world they're just going to be assholes. And we need to move on with our lives and not let assholes destroy us as a character, as a person. Be a better person. It doesn't mean getting in their face and being like, oh, well, hey, they've been an asshole to me, so I'm going to be an asshole to them. No. It means try to be, they want to be an asshole, be nice to them. The best revenge to them is to basically insult them with a smile on your face, by doing it in a way that they realize that they're the bigger asshole, that they're the bigger problem. And that's, kind of how we have to deal with the problems these days. No matter what you believe, who you believe in, what creed you want to follow, if you're going to stand there and be an asshole to the world, nobody wants you, honestly. Nobody wants you. But if you want to be something better for the world, something better for you, something better for your life, people will come to you. People will enjoy that. People will see you as a better person. And that's how you just gotta be in life. I know it sucks. I know things are gonna be hard. Hell, look at me. I just came out of being homeless with illnesses that make it difficult to walk, difficult to eat. I have had food poisoning twice while I was homeless, from homeless shelters that are giving me food. It sucks. But the only way to improve that is to buckle down and do better. It's sad to say that, but that's the only way you can improve you and improve the world, is by buckling down and being a better person. All right, I'm going to do something different with this gem here. I'm going to we're going to do a little bit. I'm going to go down to a thinner line. We're going to do We're gonna make it more like a gem here. So a little bit of secret if ever you want to do kind of like gems or something in an anime, comic, manga, whatever you're doing. Key is fragment sections. So I mean, you take a polygram shape that you got here and you fragment it. So I mean, you see there, I did that. I still got to fragment more, so I've got to fragment that section. I might want to fragment this section here. So fragments. Now that I got that, maybe do something right here. Gives it a unique sort of gem-like look. And then once you fragment it, you're going to take your color. So we got our basic red here. This is the straight red that they used. And we're going to go on our little color scheme, and I'm going to go darker first. And I'm going to take some of these edges, and I'm going to go a bit darker with them. But on the opposite, I want to do lighter. So if I'm doing dark here, let's go lighter on this side. So we got that side, that one, and that one. Well, we kind of screwed up there, but all right. Let's do darker here. We want a little bit of a lighter red here, so we're going to do that. So it gives it more of a gem look, a little bit. It's a quick, easy way to have a gem look. If you want to increase it a little bit, you do highlights, which you'll do with, I suggest the straight edge, to do like a highlight on the gemstone, particularly the facets of the gemstone that is focusing towards the light. So we're establishing our light side. Our light source is going to be coming from the left, or the right of the image, the left on my left. So do a little bit of a facet there. So we'll do that. Maybe do something similar with the white of this. Let's make this more like a gemstone. So we'll do a gray there, and I'll go to a darker gray. And then a darker gray. And maybe do the same right about here. And then we want to do something, add a little bit of texture or a little something in the rope. We're going to bring that up here. They have sort of this, and I'll pull it up. I'll pull the character down from the screen here and show you what I mean, because they have sort of a black line here, I think. Okay, it's going up to the necklace here. Okay, so we're going to redo the black lines we were doing. So they're doing sort of a tip of the necklace. So we want to kind of do that up here. So there's that. Now, I wanted to do, when I came up with sort of what I wanted to do, because the creator, Guinea, kind of just said, hey, just go with whatever. They don't have any idea of what they wanted with the characters, so just have fun. Do what may on the characters. So what I came up with is sort of a typical guy hanging out at school or something scene. Where they're hanging out on like some bleachers or something. So we're gonna just do a quick bleacher in the background here. And we start with basic shapes. Doing line tools throughout it. In fact, if I remove the characters, You can kind of see it. We did that on different layers. So the gem's still there, the sketch is there, and now we're doing the seat. So we got our basic part of the seat here. Let's do a little bit of a foot here. And some more of a foot here. And dark do black on there at the bottom. If you're hearing rain in the background, I can't really apologize. It's a tropical storm going through. We've been raining all day. It's been cold and miserable because of it. I wanted to do my laundry today, but I couldn't because it requires me going to a laundromat in the complex that I'm now in, and it's down the road. So I have to drive down the road with my laundry, and in the rain, that's not fun. So got to do that at another point in time. So we're going to do the bench. We went with more of a typical park bench style. Here, we're going to just divide, even though there's not much to see there, we're going to divide them in sections. And we'll do sort of the same with here. So I'm going to try and get some segments where you can see through. So I'm going to try and give some segments here, a little more separation. And I mean, I could do this with a square tool, but I'm just going to do it with the line tool. We'll go up here. And of course, I'm zoomed out because it's easier for me to look at the picture in a whole as I'm doing this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my translucent. We're going to break those up. Now I still have the line here for good reason. We do that so we can get some, oh crap, I'm on translucent. Let's go to non-translucent. All right. We want to sort of give a 3D effect to it. So we're going to do more of the box, sort of like we did below. Scroll down and over. So, I mean, we're doing that so we still get a 3D effect. And then on another layer, we can do the back sort of metal that'll connect the two. And I mean, while we're not doing too much perspective in here, it's important to know the perspective. This is something I got into a bit of a fight with somebody on Facebook about. In one of the groups, they were doing a comic. They're still doing a comic to my knowledge. They didn't stop, despite me giving them criticism. They did not like criticism, period, at all. And they did not understand what perspective is. And it showed. It really showed because they had angles, odd angles for the rooms that they put in, kept using as a background. They would keep the line up high when they did a character's overview shot, and it was well off. And in the group that it was in, and it's not like I went out to go pick on the people. I'm an expert in that group, Facebook group. I am literally there to give critiques and suggestions to people on how they can improve. So that was literally my position to do that. And I told the person, here's what if you want to improve, here's how you do it. Well, they took it as an insult. And I was not intending it to be an insult. But I mean, it got into a fight with them. So, I mean, and they went to somebody else thinking, oh, well, they're going to do better. That person, was happy, was nice to them for a moment, but as soon as they said something different that they didn't want to hear, they jumped on that person. And we had to call them out and remove them because you have, as an artist, you have to be willing to take criticism. It's kind of the territory. It sucks. Yes, you don't want to be beaten away and attacked for what you're drawing and what your art picked away at, but if you don't accept criticism, you're never going to improve as an artist. And that's a general rule. It doesn't equate to one artist or another. It equates to, people who make statues, to people who do comics, people who do special effects in movies, to, and so on. The only way to improve is to be welcoming to criticism. That being said, don't be your own self-critic. I'm horrible at it. I am my own worst self-critic. You hear me often here, in fact, I've done it a few times tonight, and I shouldn't have, where I insult myself. And a lot of that is self-criticism. And a lot of that is like, oh, I just screwed up here, and I made a mistake. Like, I just didn't make that mistake with the paint. But the thing is it hurts yourself. Don't be a harsh self-critic, but don't be not a critic of your own work or other people's work. Be willing to accept others' opinions of your work or their work. Of your work, be it from others or be it from yourself. But don't hurt, don't get negative on yourself. That's kind of why I ended up in the situation I am. Having health issues like I am, it's easy to be self-critical, especially when your health is not cooperating. It's too easy to just lambast yourself and be like, well, if I could have done this, if I could have done that. And the if-I's and the could-I's don't really help. They don't do anything for you. So, I'm trying to be a better person, not to be a self-critic. But I'm also trying to be a little more open and honest with myself on things, on what I can do and what I can't. So that's why we have the stream set up as we do. I'm just gonna kind of painterly do a brassy thing in the back. We could have done the Ghibli brush, which we use regularly. If you've seen our streams before, you've seen me use the Ghibli brush. It is probably, if you didn't know in Clip Paint Studio that you can get brushes from other people, it's good to know. And one of my favorite brushes, always, in fact, I'll pull it out, is called the Ghibli brush. And rightfully so. The person who created it, I want to thank them so much because it is such a great brush. Because it helps minimize work a lot in comics. This is a Ghibli brush. It has this amazing grass brush that just, if I zoom in, I'll do like a bit there. And we zoom in, you can see the detail in just that one bit. And as you go, there's more and more details repeated on it, and it comes out so beautiful. But at the same time, there is issue because it's no color differential in using it. So if I use the Ghibli brush here, like I did here on the bottom, when I go in here, it's all one color from here to here, but there should be shadows. There should be layers of color somewhere along the lines. So that's what we're gonna do. I need to do some color and shading on their persons, and I still need to do his whiskers. Plus, I want to change the color scheme a bit for one of them. This guy, we're gonna change his skin tone a bit, and I'm on the wrong layer to do it. Dadgummit. We're gonna make him a little more tan skin tone. It's important to have different skin tones in a series, especially if you're doing a comic book or a manga. Even if you're doing black and white, I still have different skin tones for the characters in Demon Blade, even though it's black and white comic. Tetsu's a very light-skinned, Mai's sort of this tan skin element, but hers is a little bit darker than her sister Ino, who's a little more fairer skinned than her. And then, of course, the shadows are going to be kind of like under the source. So, I mean, while I chose this color under, I'm actually going to probably go with something different. So I've got that. We can go back to the original skin tone. I'm going to go down on the color spectrum on that same color line, and we'll bring it up here. So this brings us a little bit of a shadow element. I still got to do his beard, but I want to do the shadow first before I do the beard or facial hair. Dang it. I really need to get that set up going with the iPad, because this is really frustrating to do. You might see it on Tuesday and next Saturday, but it is going to be replaced really quickly. If there is a program I can get the iPad to run on the PC so we can do the stream properly, it's just going to be some learning curve for me, so I'm going to have to take some time to do it. So we just need to know. But it's good to know, one, where your light source is, which we established with the gem earlier. Two, to kind of understand how shadows hit. So in this case, we want to kind of fully get this finger in shadow. Same here, kind of do a little bit of in shadow there, little in shadow. Now it's important to also do knuckle a little bit. And it just depends on how much detail you want to go into something. This is very, very simple detail for what I get into when I get more advanced with artwork. The detail gets a lot more severe, and I think that's what we'll do for our ending here. We are already in hour 3. Yes, we are going 3 hours now on Dining and Doodles. They used to be 2 hours, but we're in 3. Do my typical nose here. This is just sort of my style. I do these kind of noses. Here, one of the darkest layers of the nose and the lips, or darkest spots on the face, are nose and lips. It's usually the under part of the nose, the under part of the eye, or right here in the eye. This spot right here in the eye is the darkest. The nose right on. This is where this damn setup's gonna really hate. Hate. All right, there we go. The shadow kind of comes into play and whatnot. I'm definitely gonna do a bit more because we got the hat also to deal with on the character, so we're gonna do. I don't want to do it that badly. Bring it over. And down. And we might even do a little bit of shadow here. A little shadow on the face. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do his rough, I don't know what to call it, stubble. I mean, it's stubble. But yeah, I'm going to do his stubbly beard here. I don't know if it's supposed to be a full beard or if it's just supposed to be stubble. Does not look like he has a mustache, so we're just giving him the stubble on the chin. My way of handling stubble is a bit different than others, but I mean, there's a different ways to handle it. This is particularly how they do it in anime. They'll do one line or two. There's another way to do it, which is sort of speckle. If you're an artist, you kind of know what speckle means. It means to do that. But we're doing, since it's lines, since the character has lines, we're going lines. I am going to give them pupils because Lord knows they need pupils. Actually, let's do a little highlighter in the eye. Little highlight. So each color will go to a different one. So we'll do some highlighting. Give a little bit more color into the character. Red's going to be a more challenging color, but we'll do a little lighter red. And then the blue, we want a lighter blue. And I should have filled in that red, but I didn't. But we'll do that in a second. It's not to say we're done with bringing in color to the eye. We can go into more detail if we wanted, but we kind of want to do something a little bit different. So, bring that in. We want to get the pupil going. There are different ways to handle pupils. I typically do this way. I have other ways. I have this sort of blacken eye pupil that I'll do occasionally in Demon Blade, which is do a dark black line and do it there, but since we're doing sort of highlights, just give them the two. Now I am going to go leave pupilless here because that's sort of the trait of this character. But that one, because he was all eyes, we're going to do eyes there. Let's do a little bit of dark shade on the pants. So we're going to go darker with pants. The fingers, of course, would be adding shadow, so we're going to make it there. Maybe a little bit of light coming in here. We'll do a little bit of loop there. Dark there, a little bit of light. Same of just a fraction of light in here. And all these loops come to be like that. Well, that one's going to be there. That dark, that dark, that dark. I'll just do that one completely dark there. Dark there. Bring a little bit of light out in here. And we're going to grab our black again, and I'm going to do some sort of wrinkles in the pants because clothing is not perfect or is not going to stay clean and pressed unless it's a robot, at which point the clothes are literally on them physically. You're going to get raggeds, you're going to get wrinkles, you're going to have all those kind of things in clothes. Wear and tear, if you wanted to do wear and tear, that's important to draw in there too. I know I need to do more with the background, but we have not gotten this. I want to do all the characters' pants. So this one, we're going to go with black on the layer. I know that's going to probably make things a little harder to read. Well, let's not go black. let's go the opposite route. Let's do light on this character. Let's do some lighter shades up pan. So we'll go to lighter gray. Do some highlights. Instead of shadow, we'll do highlight. So this area will be right here. Maybe a little bit in here. A lot here. This leg should be almost all highlight there. Let's do that. Okay, that gives them a little bit better shade. I kind of do want to give a different shade of brown here for the hair. Trying to stay around the same color choice. So we're trying to stay at the same palette, same color choice that we bring it in. So we're going to bring in a little bit of a highlight here on the hair. Now, to each their own. I mean, you'll see a lot of artists on YouTube, a lot of artists on maybe on Twitch. I haven't watched enough artists on Twitch, to be honest, create on Twitch. But you'll see a lot of them do different ways of doing colors and highlighters. And a lot of them will do the traditional, I'll do a different layer. I'll do this layer, this layer, this layer. I tend to not do layers because it's all one melding image. I do separate layers because, like, yeah, we have the characters on one layer. We have the gemstone on another layer. We have the bench on another layer. We have the grass on another layer. We have the blue right now where we haven't done anything for the background on another layer. So, I mean, you can still do stuff with the layers. It's just a matter of, I like the characters to interact and meld, so when I draw a character, I want them to be on the same page. Because if I was doing this in paper, I don't have layers in paper. I don't have the benefit of putting in layers on paper. If I was doing an animation cell, yeah, I'd have the benefit of layers, but I don't have that on paper. And so, since I was trained to be traditional artists, traditional paper, pen and paper cartoonist, before we did too much with internet and illustration on the computer, because it was still early days of computer, it's a lot harder to adapt to the layers use. I had some advantages where I was trained as an animator and went into cartooning from there, but it's a lot harder to do those kind of things. I'm going to do some buildings in the background. So that's what we're going to do for sort of background. In the past, I've never really done anything like this on stream, but I have done these before. So I'm using a technique that, having watched, as I said, I'm currently watching Code Geass for the first time in my life. So I'm doing a technique that Code Geass actually did in their background art, which is a very, I hate to say it, amateurish way of doing buildings. But I've done them. I did it in Witching Chapter 2, where I had a lot of buildings going on because I had the character going through the downtown. It'll be also in 3, and I'll do it in 4, again in 4, where if I'm doing downtown scenery, I may paint in the things. I may have a preset image set up, but I also might have to do it by hand. So we're going to just do sort of these blocks in the back. These are quick ways to do backgrounds, images. We're going to do sort of like a, no, that's too light of a gray. It's too light of a gray. Let's go with this gray. Let's do sort of a gray building here. We're only going to do a thin gray, and then we're going to do like a curved That's the blue I use, so let's use this gray. Do a curved building, kind of like the UN is, building is in real life. So we're going to do that gray. And we're going to come back over these with a little bit of a highlight on some ends and shadows on other ends. So we know where our light and shadow are. We have established that. We know where we're going with it. So I can just go and be like, okay, the end I'm currently working on this building that it's facing is going to be the shadow end. So whatever I do is going to be darker on this side than it would be on this side. So our highlighted end should be around here on the what is facing the front with our characters, and not sort of the other end. So we're going to do that sort of light end, and we'll do something like a lighter blue here. I think this is a lighter blue gray. This is French gray, to be honest, with what color this is. So we'll do a French gray there. Good. Oh, nope. Too small. Didn't go far enough. Did not go far enough. So that's our problem. All right. Simple way to get a building in there. It's unique. It's long. We can do more with this building here. We can add a little bit of, say we want to make this windows here. So we just do dark here. And we want to make sure we have these separated. So this side separated from that side. So whatever we do here, so if I go like this, we're not going to be interfering with the other layers. An easy way to do this, to show you a quick way to make squares, windows, is use the square tool. And just go every other layer. So, I mean, if you're doing a comic, you're doing something, and you just want a quick building background, a downtown background, city line, that's all you do, is you just use the little line tools, use the shapes. Now that we've established the line tool on this side, we know our angle for our perspective, so we're going to go ahead and take our line tool and match, but kind of go on a slope with the broken tool here. And we can deselect. And since we already have this separated, I can take this blue that we have, and I can go darker. So we can go shade darker. We can bring it on that side. And we just, because I only had to do a few, that comes on that side. Now we have our building. It's quick, it's simple, it's a building. It recognizes as a building. And yeah, the first season of Code Geass did this a lot. There are a lot of just square buildings in the background of Code Geass. That's why I kind of did a curve there. We could do something more. We could do like a curved building in the background here. Let's do something in a darker gray. Let's say there's like an orb type building here. Since we already have our line tool going down, we should not have interference to do that. Now, if you want to, since we're doing the light, we established where our light is, it's good to kind of just go over this and just take that same curve tool that we had and just do a slight curve on the side for our highlight. So we're going to go, I'm going to scroll in quicker so you guys can see this. We can do this. We got our curve. We do that. Lighter, I don't like that lighter color. We're gonna go here. Lighter, that's better. Let's make some functions to it. So let's do a little bit of a curve to it. Maybe something going down the line here. And then maybe add some antenna. Just real thin things, just nothing too distracting, because the main focus here is the characters. The point of the background is to highlight the characters, but not make the characters overpowered. So if you have too much of a great background, too great of a background, you're gonna lose your characters. You're gonna lose your focus. So we just want to kind of do a simple character drawing thing there. We did with the building. Maybe we could do a little bit with this building, but it'd be a little more complicated. I kind of like just leaving it blank there. Maybe we add some clouds in the sky. Yeah, I should have a cloud tool in here. I will say I do prefer my computer than the iPad as far as my brush segment or choices, because I got a lot more brushes and a lot more choices of brushes and on my computer for years of having done this versus using the iPad, because the mobile version of Clip Paint, I like it, but it could use some work. I hope that they do improve the version. We're in fact going to do a quick gradient for the sky. The benefit of Clip Paint, and you can kind of see it here on the side, they already have skies. They have blue sky, midday sky, sunset. And they have different options, foreground, background. So if I wanted to do something different or something alien in the sky looking, I could do that. We're just going to go with a typical blue sky. So if you read Witchin, you would have caught something similar to this. I don't like that blue sky. I honestly don't. We'll go with midday. Let's see here. Let's go the reverse, actually. We'll do a slight angle reverse. It comes out a little bit better there. It's a bright, sunny day on a different layer. So let's add a new layer below. You guys can't really see it, but it's behind because it's behind me. But that's what I'm doing there. Just adding another layer. I have my. I don't want dry ink. I want a water. Let's go with. Okay, there's my cloud. There's my cloud brushes. There are my cloud brushes. All right, we're gonna add. Well, that didn't come out as great. Let's do some. Not Chinese cloud. Let's do some clouds here. So I got this nice little cloud brush that's perfect for something like this. That's a blue summer day, or if you wanted to do a little gray. So you just get sort of this sort of wispy cloud hint. That can be anything from the wispy, can be the front to thunderclouds to anything. So we do that. Maybe we want to put a little bit of a foreground in here of a tree. I've done trees a lot on these streams, so it's not really that hard. We'll do a maple tree. We'll make it look, since we're going into fall, let's get a little bit of hint of fall here. Typically, and this is something that it helps to observe nature. In the fall, your leaves go to a light green, to a faded green, to a yellow, to a red, to an orange. So it's important to know if you're doing sort of a summer transition, which is what I'm going to do here. Summer transition to fall. That's not. Let's change the size of the leaves here. So I'm doing this lighter green, and usually you want to work your way dark to light, but since this is just going to be a foreground, we do want to work a little bit towards a lighter green. We're going to take that green, and I'm going to go over here to the palette. I know you guys can't see the palette. It's something weird. You can kind of see where it's at, and you can see what's me messing with it, but it's not as clear as it should be. And I don't like that the stick's coming through. So yeah, it's the disadvantage of some of these brushes. They're great for background, but they sometimes have a little bit of a odd look to them. In fact, since I'm going that route, I have a little more yellowy leaf. I think we have some, because we're using a maple. I think I have some other maple leaves in here somewhere that might work a little bit better. Maybe. I have a long list. So you guys can see I'm going through a long list of brushes here on the side. And because I go through so many things with elements with Demon Blade, this is literally just the effects for Demon Blade characters. So there's a fire effect. There's a wave effect. It's just shortcuts to do things. Eno's Vine. This when I tend to do Eno, the character Eno, she's a fairy. She tends to use plant-based magic, or since plant-based. There's a vine right there. Simple, quick, easy to do, saves you some time. But yeah, I mean, find some shortcuts that you can do things with. I'm not seeing a maple leaf off the top immediately, other than the one we've been using. So we're gonna just kind of, I don't like that yellowish green. No, we need to go more yellow. So we're gonna go down and go more to the yellow spectrum. This is gonna be changing a fall. That's too bright. That's way too bright. Needs to be browner color. There we go. That's better. So yeah, it's just a simple little added effect to the drawing to bring out a little bit of nicer look to the thing. Since I did it on a different layer, if I wanted to make it darker, I could. By just simply going and saying, okay, do another layer, but I want to do, actually, let's just copy the layer over. So we're going to do duplicate layer and say, okay, now I want to darken the image on that duplicate layer. So we need to subtract and then just slowly fade that light in. So it adds a little bit of an element, a little something new there that doesn't fully distract from the characters, but gives us a little something that brings them out. So yeah, since this is our first stream officially with audio and being able to do things, I'm going to show a few things that have been under the works that may have not gotten the public attention, may have been hidden away, or that I may have been hiding away. So first off, we're going to show the base as it is. So I'm going to open up what we have as the very background that I have in this series. We drew it, we designed it. This is the entire background. Took a couple days to do it. I switch out the image here in the background as we do different streams, different setups. In fact, if I go to the base, you can see I got a different background in the background. And we also have a different color to the background right now. That's because I can flip it around. I can change the color as I want. Different things, different needs, different ways to do it. Going back to the screen here, showing some more of the artwork that we've been doing. So while we were away for the last year, we are doing, let's see here, waiting for it to open up. So as I said, I am bringing 11 Kingdoms somewhat to a close. I'm trying to find the where is that darn thing? Do I not have the image? All right. I don't know why it's not showing here. All right. Coming out this summer, maybe? No. No? Okay. Well, as I said, I'll show 11 Kingdoms another point. This is one of the comics we did recently. We've continued the One Piece comic that people have asked for, bringing it together. This is a bit of humor. This is a masking comic, but we wanted to do humor in it because a person basically just asked, I want Luffy disguising as Nami, dressing up as Nami, and this is how Luffy would act on the ship. If he disguised himself as Nami, he'd be a complete and total moron about it. We already did our review of live action a bit in the stream earlier, so you can catch on that. Of course, we have Witchin, which, let's see here. It's gonna more be on the regular site. Let's see here. I gotta go to. Well, we'll show some of the new stuff. We'll show what we haven't shown people yet of Witchin. So let's see here. Where's issue 3? Work. Final 2. Is it coming this summer? No, that's not it. Where is it? That's Witchin 2. Huh. Oh, there's 11 Kingdoms. There's our 11 Kingdoms cover. That's actually not the final cover. Where's the final cover? It's probably going to be a grind on my system because it is one of the heaviest layers and drawings. Let's see here. Here's the finalized work. Just waiting for it to load. Like I said, this is a big one. And it also goes to show you don't need Photoshop. You can use Clip Paint Studio to do illustrations. That it takes a while. There we go. This shows off the power of illustration on Clip Paint Studio. You can go much further. I did each individual hair on these characters multiple times. This is not even. I'd like to say this is not even the finished one, but I mean it's where I'm calling it an end for it. If you want to catch the 11 Kingdoms, we had it posted. We reviewed some of it, watched some of it, put it on there. I don't know if we got rated there or not. I just saw a bunch of people and a bunch of people left. I think my Twitch chat is not working, so that sucks. And let's see, can I find Witchin 3? That's the question. That is the question of the day. Entitled folder. Nope, that's commission I don't want to show yet. There's one I can't show on stream. But it is very popular that I did do this summer or over this time period. Comic output, no, that's not it either. Well, crap. I can't show Witchin there. We'll just show the regular Witchin. So yeah, Witchin is our comedy series. As I said, it's out now. Chapters 1 and 2 are out now for people. I'm gonna pull up the promo code image we did. So I mean, yeah, the series is out now for issues 1 and 2. Available on Webtoons and Tapas. We're gonna probably have our own site on MBRide soon. I just gotta get to work on it. Do something similar with Demon Blade, where you can just read it all on the page at once. This is not gonna go paperback. We're never gonna really do this series digitally. Digital book format or paperback. So Witchin's going to be just strictly digital comic, webcomic. A lot of people have asked for us to do it. You can see we did, for shortcuts, I did shadow people in the background along it. I mean, it's a quicker series for me to do than I do with Demon Blade. Those that have not seen Demon Blade before, you're coming in here. I'll pull up Demon Blade comic page. So I mean, we're working on Demon Blade. Of course, we have our cover, let's see, our special. Let's see, I don't even see where the special is, but let's just go in the issues. So we have issues like this, or pages like this. This is what Demon Blade looks like. There's far more detail, far more focus on characters, background, story, elements, how the page is laid out. It takes longer to do a Demon Blade page than it does a Witchin page, but hey, you'll see both get done, because we're going to be doing some of them live on Tuesdays. That is going to be our regular occurrence from now on with our Dining and Dribble. First chat element is going to be I witnessed a murder. And we'll be doing that on Tuesday. We'll have a couple other nonsensical things that we'll cover, stupid news, stuff like that while we do the comic page. I don't know if we're going to do Witchin yet or Demon Blade. If it's Witchin, it's going to be very early chapter 4. Witchin. It's not going to be chapter 3 because we're at the end of chapter 3. But it might be Demon Blade because I am a few pages behind what I'd like to be on Demon Blade. So, it might be Demon Blade. So, that's the go. But yeah, you can see how the pages are created as they're going. We'll be doing new stuff all along. So I hope you all get to enjoy this stream. I hope you all enjoy submitting for this stream. These are done by request. So if you have a request in the chat, just leave it there and I will definitely get back with you on what you want to do. If you're watching this as a video on YouTube or on Twitter, because we are going to start putting these on Twitter, or on Rumble, because we also have it on Rumble, just comment, and we'll look into it there. We'll also have our DeviantArt page, which is DeviantArt /Embria Arts, IMBRIAARTS. And you can get content there from us. We do postings of comic work almost every week. On top of the Demon Blade and Witchin series, we do Patreon requests regularly. We do just random art now and then. We do random polls. We did a poll to what games we should be playing these next few weeks. And we're doing a couple horror games. But we're also doing Undertale, which people have requested a lot of. And I don't know how well I'll do at Undertale. I think I might suck at it. I've not played the game. I've watched others play it, but we'll see. But I do need to do a shout out to our sponsors, because we do have sponsors still. And we've been actually asked to probably bring on some more in the future. But right now we have our old sponsor, Built Bar. So, as always, I have been a fan of Built Bars, and believe it or not, this is one of the foods I can still eat. It is always delicious, always nutritious, low calorie, low fat Built Bars. They are a great replacement for candy bars, in my opinion, but they are a protein bar, first and foremost. They are one of the best protein bars out there because they have about 17 grams of protein in each bar. And they are only 4 grams of sugar and around 130 calories each. There's my favorite, the Puffs. I stand by the Puffs. They're kind of like a marshmallowy chocolate candy bar. But maybe you want something a little more chewier, you can go with the regular bars. They're a little more like a very nougat heavy bar. And then there's also now the more granola or crunchy bars. The granola bars are just that. It's a granola bar. The crunchy bars are more like a Kit Kat. So maybe you want to try those. They also have the protein collagen Built Bone broth with the Built Bone. I think that's still available somewhere on the site. Built Boost is still available on the site. You can still get immunity drinks, beverages. That's something I am living by these days because it's the best way for me to get vitamins into me. Is through drinking them. And also, hey, they have another product here which I haven't shown, but they introduced and I stand by and live by. If you're into protein powder like me, hey, get the protein powder. It's delicious. They have vanilla, chocolate, and plain. So, if you want to add a little taste of vanilla in your drink, or if you want to have, protein shake with some chocolate in there, Add that chocolate. It'll be delicious. It's a great choice. And they are low calorie, low sugar, and that is the benefit of them. They focus on flavor first. Use the promo code EmbryoArts to get 10% off your order. That's 10% off of any other deal that they have going. So if they have a sale going that says 10% off and you use our code, you get 20% off. So keep that in mind. Use that promo code. And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. It is a pleasure. We want to thank Guinea. I'm going to pull up the name properly here. Guinea Pig Miku over at DeviantArt for putting in the suggestion to do his draw his characters out, which we did. I want to thank you all for joining in tonight. As always, have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week, and a wonderful year. Good night, everybody.